I said, hey, yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Mo Hodls, and we're back with another video. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend thus far. Today, we're going to be talking about everything XRP. We're talking about the data. We're talking about on-chain metrics. We're talking about the technicals. Man, lots of stuff breaking out. And even as we're watching XRP right now, it's up about 4%, and that is going to be fun. We're going to be talking about everything. So if you're interested in knowing where you know XRP may be headed, I do monthly updates, and last month I'm going to give you guys a quick summation here. We spoke about pretty much this red area holding, right? So I kind of took a snippet here, but this red area holding, because it's the most important level on the chart. We're going to be talking about everything XRP, of course, but I want to just preface this video, guys, because right now a lot of people are kind of jumping into the hype. So if you've been around for a while, you know, definitely understand, you know, someone like me, I've been in the market for over 5 years, and guys, 3 days after the lawsuit, December 23rd, right? 3 days after the lawsuit was filed by the SEC, it was an absolute shit show. Nobody was showing face. Everybody was talking shit about XRP. And all you saw was fear mongering, blah, blah, blah. And everyone just thought it was over for Ripple, right? And now here we are today, about 3 years later. Everybody and their mother is now trying to act like they were on the side of Ripple and XRP. Everyone and their mother is trying to file an amicus curiae and trying to act like, you know, they didn't have any you know, ill will against the XRP community and Ripple Labs, the company. It's also funny to watch, but it's beautiful. You know why? Because at the end of the day, the XRP holders will benefit, and we all know the truth will be shed over time, and it will be brought to light. And, you know, of course, I have a thread here on my Twitter, so definitely you guys want to give me a follow, because I do about a, you know, weekly or monthly update from time to time. And, you know, again, I talk about this red level, which I'm going to be giving you guys more details on. And I wanted to just jump right in, taking a look at this range. So the range is the most important part, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, every single range will have a sweep high and a sweep low, right? So for anyone who was watching my Bitcoin monthly analysis, you guys know that I called the bottom here right around 17K. So you can go ahead in January and go look at the video, or December. I put out a monthly Bitcoin analysis. In December, we called the actual bottom of Bitcoin. Go take a look for yourself. You know, I'm not here to toot my own horn. It's there. This is why I document videos. And also, we spoke about the high here at 25K being the top, which did reject, but then of course came back up again. Pretty much blowing right past 25K. But the point of this is that we look at the same type of similarities where we were right, and we also try to, you know, reestablish the areas of success. And what you can see from time to time again, even over here, there are moments of range highs, and then there are moments of range lows. And basically the market is an everlasting cycle where pretty much the highs get swept. You guys can see right here. And then price, you know, pretty much kind of goes down, and then it breaks down under the range. But remember, the point of the range is to fake people out, to fake them out to thinking they're going higher, but it breaks down. But if you look at XRP on the inverse of Bitcoin, right, what you saw was way back, all the way in 2017 or 2018, you see a range high get tapped on the 2 week here, and then it goes sideways for 1,930 days. Actually, good God, we're reaching 1,967 days. And if we've learned anything from ranges, and especially I'm going to teach you guys the things that have worked for me, is ranges are crucial because they act and they show, you know, psychology. They show where people get stopped out, and they show areas where, you know, you can set yourself up for success. And what I mean by that is, when we look at Tesla, for example, right? I'm going to pull up the Tesla chart real quick for a second. And I've made this correlation before. So if you guys watch, you guys know pretty much, you know, what we saw was very similar for Tesla. It went sideways for 2,060 or 36 days. And then after it went sideways for so long, it eventually, after tapping liquidity on the low, tapping liquidity on the high, because people thought it was going to break out, it breaks down, tricking people in the opposite direction, and then it goes up, right? Now, granted, every single chart is not going to be the same, but because it accumulated so long at the high here, most people thought it was just going to go higher. But what ended up happening was there was actually an SEC lawsuit around this time, which is quite hilarious, right? Because Ripple's being sued by SEC as well. So that's another similarity, which I kind of find quite strange. And it breaks down and then of course goes on a 34x run, which is quite insane. And when we look at XRP, when we look at the similarities, what you saw was a fake out to the high 2018, and then it goes sideways. Right now, of course, it did not tap the high here, right? So it actually rejected here. So we didn't break the highs here. So it's actually more liquidity to the upside here. And price wasn't able to break back down to the 12-cent lows. So what that tells us is that most likely we're not going to go back down there on the first or second try. If we were to go down there again, we're actually more likely to go $2 first and then break down. So that is my bearish scenario. Now, I am no longer on the side of breaking down 12 cents. The only way we break down 12 cents is if we go to $2 first. Right? Because that would mean it's a bigger liquidity hunt. It's a bigger move to the upside to trick more people into longing and then breaking down. Now, that is my only bearish scenario at this moment. Now, if you asked me a month ago, which is where I posted the last update, I was talking about how this move was corrective. Now, definitely, I thought it was probably going to break down, but basically the time that has elapsed in this area, I'm no longer under the impression that we're probably going to break down. And the reason for that is because when we look at this other chart that I have here, guys, you're probably like, why is there so many damn charts? And I actually encourage everybody to do this. If you have multiple charts, it allows you to see things differently. And I have different colors, and one chart I use for ranges, the other one I use for Elliott wave or support resistances. But, the main point here is that if we are able to break above red, and as you guys can see here, red is the most important level on this chart, because when red is held, what you can see here is that it acts as a support. It acts as a support, right? And even over here back in 2021 is bull market, right? When we broke past it back in March 2021, it acted as a support. It acted as support. But when we broke through it, what do you see? Resistance and resistance. But now we are recharging at this level right now. This is a very, very bullish sign. When we look at the RSI on the 2-week, it's starting to break through. And when we look even closer on the 1-week, this is extremely bullish type of price action that we want to see. But more importantly, we want to see the breakout above this red zone, because that will be the final confirmation for me. Right now, everybody's different. Every trader has a different strategy. But I'm already super long XRP. I've been accumulating for quite a bit because of this area over here. I've actually also put an update back in December as well, talking about that XRP is probably going to break out to the highs here simply because of the same range strategy we spoke about earlier in the video. So if you want to go look at that, definitely check it out. But the point again is that this red area has been a pivotal resistance level on this chart, and you can even see it back over here, right? When it broke down, this area was a resistance, clear resistance. It took 2 tries in 2021 and 2020, November and January or February 2021 to break or even get up to this level. 2 tries. And then after the retracement on the 3rd try, it did get up again. So, and break through it finally. So the point is that we've already retested this level 1, 2 times. This is the 3rd time. We've made a higher low. Price is starting to look very bullish, and that leads me to believe that we're probably going to break out. And this isn't even about XRP. If you just look at normal price action trading, resistances on the first try do not break. They're usually fake outs. And right now, all the stars are aligning to break out. So that's why I'm bullish, right? It's very, very simple. You do not need to make your technical analysis very complicated. You just got to take it level by level. And this is the most important level, ironically enough. And when we look at the RSI even, guys, this is extremely bullish. You're sitting at a level at, 62 or 63, which is the highest level we've seen all the way back since what? Wow, August 2021? That is the highest level. Also, don't get me wrong, you have March here 2023 when we got up to here, but we're still trending in that direction. The RSI is also making higher lows. Price action is also higher lows. We're seeing the structure taking off to the upside. This is very bullish. I'm extremely bullish. I don't see downside price action anymore. I think $2 is extremely likely now. And now I'm at the point where I just think we're going to go up from here, okay? Now, I don't know what happens with the lawsuit. I don't really care. Just look at the price. If you took off the ticker, I think this goes higher simply for the fact that it's extremely bullish and the momentum is favoring the upside. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest. I can be wrong, and that's perfectly fine, right? At the end of the day, anything can happen. So definitely don't take my opinion for advice, feel free to do whatever the hell you want, because everybody's strategy is different. I've been accumulating for 5 years. Everybody has their own strategy. But the point of this all is that when we combine multiple, indications that price is most likely headed up, when we look at past price action, especially look at the ranges, when we look at the RSI, when we look at past behaviors in ranges, when we, for BTC even, right? This is a clear indication that the price in the range is likely to head up because of all the confluence. Again, everybody has their own opinion. I'm not telling you what to do. But even again, when we look at the XRP account, what I had before from last month's video, I just think we're starting to gear up from here. I think we put in a minor 1-2, and we're probably going to start moving up from here. I'm waiting for the violent move that just is completely green craziness, where the price just absolutely starts going bonkers like we saw over here. That's what I'm waiting for. That will let me know where the wave 3 is. Right now the count is definitely choppy, but again, when we look at the time relationship, you can definitely see that 400 days there for that correction, or wave 1, and you see about a 427-day correlation afterwards for wave 2. So could this be a 1, 2, 3 and underway? Like that could be technically like something like this, like that could be something, right, where we just start seeing a series of higher lows and higher highs. Now again, I don't want to kind of sit too tight on that, but that would be my general count. I don't mean to make Elliott wave complicated. It actually doesn't need to be, especially when you look at the high time frames. Find the major count, look for the momentum. We see it all, and I think we're probably going to break up. Now, granted, again, it looks like we are at resistance, which we have been. But the main thing I want to stress to you guys is that this is the second time we're at this resistance. And what did we learn from 2021 and 2020 when we tried to break above the 58 cents level? Is that we hit it twice, we were rejected, right? And then it was able to break past it afterwards. And right now we're seeing a very similar story, except with accumulation behind it. When you have accumulation, that is a very clear indication to me that it's basically like momentum. Right? It's like momentum building up, ready to punch through, right? And that's exactly what I'm expecting, because at the end of the day, with everything else I've just spoke about, I just think that, we're going to see a big move. And again, like this is an insane range, guys. You see 1,967 days of accumulation sideways in this range. Now the range is obviously extremely vast, right? You see a $12 to $2 range, but it has been ranging. And anybody who tells you otherwise, that this chart is not bullish, is just doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, especially when you look at it on the high time frame. This 2-week chart is extremely bullish, and our size is so goddamn gorgeous. I mean, listen, if you take off the ticker, you didn't tell me it's XRP, I would long this chart. It's very, very straightforward to me. We're holding above the mid, level of the range. And when we look at the XRP market cap chart, this is another chart that I like to use sometimes because it gives you a different level of, price action, which kind of is a little bit different than what we used to see. And it also has good, proportions for using Elliott wave. So again, I don't use one single chart. I try to find confluence across the board. I also think XRP dominance is very interesting, which is also looks like it wants to start moving higher. Now, granted, all these charts are directly correlated, so that's definitely something that you want to consider. So not putting too much, I want to say priority on this chart, but it is interesting. And the final thing I want to share with you guys, or the second to last, is the total chart. Now, on this channel, I've been talking about the total chart day in and day out because I do daily updates, but this chart is extremely bullish. And guys, if you have listened to anything I've been talking about today, I've been talking about ranges. What happened here in October 2021, right? We saw people getting faked out. They longed the top. This is your fake out because they saw this break of a high. And guess what happens? Price folds over, right? And the same exact thing happens here. You had your people screaming for 12K at this low. Meanwhile, all we've been doing is going sideways for 300 days, and the momentum is building up on the RSI. So that is why I'm just so goddamn bullish on XRP, because this chart, which is the total chart, is extremely bullish, which is why I think the market has already bottomed. And then when you combine that with XRP's price action, we're about to break resistance. This is gonna send all of the prices higher. And I just can't fucking wait, right? Because this chart is so damn bullish. When it breaks, it's gonna be, all hell's gonna break loose. And I just can't help myself. And also the other thing I want to share actually is the Bitcoin dominance chart, which I've been talking about quite a bit. When we look at the last season of 2021, alt season, you pretty much saw a range, and you guys are starting to see a common pattern here in this channel. Ranges, ranges, ranges. They tell you everything. And basically, Bitcoin dominance wasn't reclaimed in this bear market, which is kind of funny. And now we're starting to break down out of this range. We've been going sideways for so long now. The last time we were able to hit the high of the range in 2021, alt season occurred. What you saw was Ethereum take the dominance from Bitcoin, and then after that, altcoin took the dominances from Ethereum. Now, granted, I don't expect things to work out the same. It's never going to work out the same. Bitcoin did not hit a all-time high the same way it did in the past 3 cycles, right? And I don't mean to talk about Bitcoin, but the point is I'm trying to teach you guys, something to understand, right? Like, guys, if anything we've learned from the cycle, we didn't get a blow off top like we usually do, right? We also don't hit the previous all-time high over here, right? We don't do that. So that's another problem that we've had. And also, Bitcoin dominance was not reclaimed in the bear market like it was in the last cycle. So a lot of things have changed. A lot of things must be considered, and I don't expect things to work out exactly the same. However, what I do know is that certain altcoins just look better than others, and XRP is one of them that looks absolutely magnificent for the next bull market that you definitely want to consider having exposure to, not financial advice, but it's definitely interesting. And I actually want to share this. This is from Sentiment. XRP network has now had its second and third largest activity on chain. And again, that is very, very good. And we're starting to see the largest ever address activity spike, 45% price surge in the following 10 days. And that's very, very interesting. The other thing that's very interesting is the number of addresses holding at least $10,000 worth of XRP slowly approaching the November 2021 highs. And that is higher than what it was in 2018. That is actually incredible. People have been accumulating XRP, and that is your proof that we've been ranging for so long, but people have been accumulating, because what you're seeing is as we are accumulating, you're seeing the on-chain data of people accumulating $10,000 worth of XRP. So there's your proof. You don't need, a bunch of things to kind of confirm your bias. It's not supposed to be that difficult, right? And this is the beauty of all of this, is that, when you combine on-chain metrics, when you look at the technicals, and you put down, a simple and concise strategy, you're going to set yourself up for success. And that's not even talking about the lawsuit, the hoax of the lawsuit. When you dig deep into the lawsuit, we all know the lawsuit is pretty much in shambles for the SEC. So, that's just a cherry on top. But this is another thing I just want to share from my Twitter. I've been talking about this range pretty much tapping out at the high here. And this is what I mean, guys. At the end of the day, I don't know if I'm going to be right, but we anticipate the reactions and then we react off of it. So now if you see the breakdown and you start seeing alts take over, you can definitely add more exposure. Also, guys, I shared this way back all the way in August 11th, 2022, talking about how we're going to range here. And guess what? Every single month, every single week, I write about, what I expect with total, and guess what happens? I was exactly right. What you're starting to see is pretty much, me kind of shit posting, talking about I believe that we're gonna come back. And guess what happened? Over time, slowly, you can see me drawing the arrows, saying that we're gonna reclaim the low. And guess what? That's exactly what happened here. It didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of time, but you gotta shit post through all of it. And this is the point of all of this, right? You want to look at the data. You want to use region. You want to use logic and reason, and that's the point of all this. So, definitely want to consider all these things for your own analysis. This is my 2 cents. I think we're going to go much higher soon. I think we're going to break right out of this and definitely start skyrocketing. So that is the point, and we're going to see what happens. And I'm just super excited. Let me get these little arrows. But my idea is now, just to conclude, is that we're going to go back all the way up to $2 should we, go back down again. The bearish case is bullish and the bullish case is bullish, right? Because don't even get me started, right? If we go higher from here, guys, or we break past $2, at that point, we're going to go much, much higher. And I think that double-digit XRP is very, very reasonable. I know a lot of people don't expect that, but we'll see what happens. My alerts are set. I'm ready for anything in this game. And I appreciate you guys for making it to the end of the video. If you can please like and subscribe, and it would help the algorithm. It would really help me. And I appreciate you guys so much. And as always, hodl, hodl, hodl. Peace.